What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of your Drunk Uncles podcast. Today, amazing guest, Brock, VJ Blee.
Thank you. Appreciate
What is
that.
happening, man?
Just working a lot, just DJing.
I haven't seen you forever, man.
It's been a while. It has been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Been
and you've
DJing,
been up to a lot.
A lot. Been
Tell me what's in the works. What have you been doing? What is your...
Battling is my newest thing.
Oh, really?
Battling. I just did a battle in Chicago 2 months ago. Won that.
Nice. Congrats.
Thank you. I just like doing battles just because it's more in depth instead of just playing to the crowd. I love playing to the crowd, don't get me wrong, but when you have 15 minutes that you put 7 months of work into, you know what I mean? Like, it's fun. And it sucks to lose because you just put a bunch of time and effort into only 15 minutes that
you probably get back. Yeah.
But the problem is when you do like a 15-minute set like that, it just has to be. DJing has came along so far now that it like has to be perfect. One mistake can you just lose.
So I've never watched like a whole battle. I've seen a lot of cool
like routines.
Yeah, and a couple snippets of here or there.
Right.
Like one guy had a dope ass thing where he chopped up was doing like the Star Wars.
Okay.
Like,
Scratch Bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually that was like one of the first ones that like kind of blew up on the internet just because it was so. I mean, the internet at that time was super nerdy, and he used Star Wars. It was perfect.
He played
it to his audience, you know. And actually, he's a judge in the Red Bull 3 style. He's actually a huge name DJ still. His name's Scratch Bastard. He's from Canada. He's like a big name.
You guys go check that out.
Yeah. Bastard, not bastard.
Do you is your battle anywhere on that they can check out?
Yeah. I got the audio up, no video. I don't look good enough for video. Audio's fine though, you know. But
we'll just put a big blur over this.
Just put it.
A censored mark.
Just turn off all the lights and it's like I'm at work. vjblee.com. That's vjblee.com. And there's
we'll throw definitely links down below.
Yeah. And there's some mixes up there, and it's the Bourbon Street battle is what I did, and it was 2 weeks basically, and I think it went from 64 DJs to 4 for the last night.
Holy shit!
So, yeah, it was good, and it was cool too. Like everybody was from like big like Chicago and stuff like that, and it was like, oh, where are you from? I'm like Galesburg. I'm like, where? Don't worry about it. It's south. That's it. That's
it's a little bit. It's
south.
kind of to the west.
Yeah.
Just check this shit out.
Just check it out. Just let me do what I can do.
Nice. So, what got you into the DJ and now VJing?
Okay. Well, I started teaching dance. That was kind of like what I loved to do was dancing. And then I had to make music for the dance routines. So that kind of got me into like making, I guess you would say, edits. Mm-hmm. Not really remixing, but like piecing.
Yeah, you just had to mix it together to have like a nice little routine.
Exactly, because I did notice like in dance routines, like the people they'd be amazing, but the songs sucked. It wasn't even the songs; it was the way that it was put together. It just didn't make any sense.
Right.
It was like you had 5 minutes on stage, and it was like instead of it seeing like one big dance, it was like parts.
Like a piece here, a piece here,
a piece.
Let me show you I can do this. Let me show you I can do this.
Right. Instead of it just making sense the whole time, and that bothered me. So I was like, well, we'll just start making these edits, so it just kind of tells a story. So that's kind of how I started. But
that's awesome.
Then I started dating this girl that was way older than me. I don't even know how we started dating, but way older than me.
Nice.
And at that time in college, the cool thing to do was power hour. You remember power hour? Take a shot of beer every minute. So
I threw up doing that in 2 hours, maybe?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
It's a lot more than you think. Yeah. It's a 40 and a half. 60 minutes, 60 ounces of beer. You know what I mean? Like, that's a whole lot more beer than you think. You're like, oh, a shot of beer every minute. No, it's when you get to like minute 25, you're like, dude, it's a lot more than I expected. You know what I mean? So, but the problem with it was somebody would have to have a timer. Like, oh, everybody cheers. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But the problem with that is you get drunk. And you
ain't nobody keeping time.
You know what I mean? So what I would do is I would make a DVD of music videos, and they would only last a minute.
So it
would make sense.
We have a genius on set today.
It's just getting drunk. That's
what we do best on this podcast.
Yeah. So I started doing that, and then it's funny, I never thought about something called wordplay, which meaning instead of blending the two songs together, using the words to make sense instead. Because I didn't have turntables, so there was no way for me to like change the pitches to make it sound right.
Right.
So
switch up tempos if need to be. Yeah.
Or like take out basses and stuff like that. I just couldn't do it because I didn't have the equipment. So it was actually, remember Jack Camper? He was at my house one day. And he's like, hey, this Mystical song not samples, he just says the same words as this Ludacris song. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. Like, I never really thought about that. So then I started just doing wordplay. So like another one, like, just like weird words that would work together, or like songs that use the same like banter. Is that what you say? Kind of like the flow of their rap that sounded good. Or like, you remember Children's Story, Slick Rick?
Oh yeah, classic.
Okay.
Classic.
That
youngsters don't know about that.
Exactly. And then you have Montel Jordan's This Is How We Do It, right? Well, the rap from This Is How We Do It and the beat is Slick Rick, Children's Story. It's the exact same. So I'd play the first rap of Slick Rick and then play the Montel Jordan rap because they're the same rap. But then Ludacris did in Gossip Folks.
Yeah.
Once upon a California. Yeah. So like I would just piece those together, and that kind of like started the non-traditional DJing. I think that's what sets me apart than a lot of people, is because I don't really look at it as only play hype stuff with hype stuff, or only play down-tempo with down-tempo. I just mix it all up just because.
You're not paying attention to metronome and
it doesn't have to be. If you create the energy for somebody, it doesn't really matter if it blended that well, if it sounds well, if it sounds good. I mean, it doesn't really matter, right?
Right.
So like one that I do right now is, All I Do Is Win. Everybody's hands go up, and I cut it off, and I wait 4 seconds. So like the crowd's like wanting to sit.
The anticipation is just like fucking going
so
crazy.
instead of doing that, instead of going, letting it play, I go into all the way up. So it's like everybody's hands go up, wait, I'm all the way up. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not talent. You know what I mean? It's not hard to do, but it's
to have the idea.
The thinking of it is the part that people don't think about, because they want it to be mixed. And I guess in the 90s that was a cool thing because it was hard to do. Well, the computers now, it's not hard. You can just look at the monitor and just go, oh, well, these don't work.
That was going to lead me into my next question.
Okay.
Talking about equipment and
oh, okay.
What do you like? I know a lot of the old crate head DJs look at Serato DJs and like, you didn't go through the struggle. We had to go up 4 flights of stairs with crates. But now it seems like Serato DJs are looking at, which I totally get this part. Serato DJs are looking at like these playlist DJs as like,
correct.
What the?
Like why?
You literally have like an iPhone with like iTunes playlist. Sit it down, plug in a.
You're done. You're ready to go. And anybody can do it. Anybody can.
And giving them the name DJ almost is like a slap.
It's almost. It's almost slapping.
I don't want to knock the hustle. Like if that's what you're doing right now to make money, make money. Yeah, go to your club.
And
that's what they want to do.
Good at it too. Like there are
like that can know how to really pick a nice list of.
Correct.
It could go from silent, chill to hype as fuck to.
And they can have good ideas, and they can do that.
So no, I'm not knocking the hustle. Right. Anybody that's doing that, but
and I could be wrong on this.
Legit,
which is in Jamaica. There's they call them selectas, and they don't really blend, but they're famous people that do selectas, and basically they play a song, and then they talk on the mic and grab the next track. So it's kind of like a radio show, but in a club. And like,
no, that would be interesting.
Because they'll be like, hey, do you guys remember this? I heard this when I was in...
Yeah, kind of just playing out to... Yeah.
Which is kind of... If you're going to be a playlist DJ and do that, I think you need something just a little bit more than just this song, this song, this song.
Yeah, I think if you want to have a way to give out to the crowd and
hey, I give some info about why you're doing it, or why am I playing the song, which they do that, and I think it's kind of cool. But... it's still a playlist. It's still just one song. A lot of them only have one turntable.
Some of them
have to talk.
Some of them have no turntable.
Well, true. That's true, too, yeah. And, I mean, I think the playlist DJ does get a lot of heat from people like me that, spend hours and hours of making the playlist, but on top of that, how to make it flow and what makes sense and the way to mix. And, I just don't think that... I don't think not being able to call a playlist DJ a DJ is kind of like, well, that's where we all kind of started. So it's like, I didn't claim that I was a DJ then.
Right.
But I became one. So it's kind of like, where do you draw the line of when you make that crossover? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then giving them shit, they might be like, well,
Exactly.
fuck, I'm not going to do this. And you just deter the guy from...
And who knows? He might have been the best one. You know what I mean? Like the whole Jordan story, getting cut.
Yeah.
And then making the team next year, and now he's, the biggest name of basketball of all time.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what I see these older people doing to the young kids that want to get started. They got to start somewhere.
Nobody has the money to these big immaculate
Uh-huh.
sets and MacBook Pros and,
Exactly. And
they get lucky to have, a freaking iTunes account. And
exactly. And I think the biggest part about that is if you are going to be a playlist DJ, at least hit me with something I've, maybe never heard, like a version that I've never heard that's good, but have something that sets you apart than just any 14-year-old with an iPod. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, at least have something that I'm like, whoa, did you hear that edit? Like, I've never heard that before. Or I've never heard, like, those two songs go back to back that makes sense. Because as a DJ, you kind of want to have a similar vibe. Even if you're going to switch it up like I like to do, you still want something to be similar.
Yeah, you're not going to put Rhinestone Cowboys and then, like,
exactly
dropping DMX on that bitch.
Yeah, just randomly. You know what I mean? Yeah, very true. But I think if you're going to do that playlist thing, as long as it keeps a flow, you're going to be able to start getting to the point of mixing them, which is cool. And, like, Red Bull actually does I can't remember the name of the competition, but I actually DJ'd it, which was the DJ would say, the MC would say, play your favorite workout song. And then the two people were battling each other, and they'd play theirs. So it was like, is that a DJ? Like, I don't think so, but kind of is. You know what I mean? Like, it's still...
Yeah, like you said, where do you
draw the line
of it?
Yeah. I personally think the moment you actually start... I'm not saying your main job, but the moment you start actually making money because people like it, I think that's when you'd be like, well, I'm a DJ now.
That's like professional DJ.
Yeah,
you're making money
you're
doing
professionally
something.
DJing at that point. So before that, I mean, I think you have to at least be able to mix. You know what I mean? Because I think like the people in Jamaica, they call themselves selectors because they're not.
They know, yeah, they're like,
I don't do that.
Yeah.
I do this. You know what I mean?
And that's cool. They find their own avenue and own thing.
Right.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
Jumping back on the early days, what was like your first setup? Your first like equipment? What was your
first real setup?
Yeah. What was you using?
I can't even remember the name of the turntables.
I can't either. I'm so pissed. Like
they were Stanton T60s, I think is the name of them, and they're horrible, terrible. But I just wanted them. Like I just wanted to get into it.
They're vinyl turntable.
Yeah,
like
vinyl turntable.
Big, not 45s or small
12,
ones.
Yeah, actual 12-inch 33s. And I remember I got them from Guitar Center, and I took a loan out from Guitar Center.
What was the American something? Those the ones I had.
American DJ.
I had those
American
ones.
DJ.
Big, and I never learned how to use.
Okay, well they were basically like the exact same.
Okay.
And I bought those, and I bought this mixer, and I got into it because I wanted to scratch. That's why I wanted vinyl, because I want to learn how to scratch. And
I never figured it out. Never.
I'm just now getting it. Like I'm now happy to the point that I'll do it in competition. Like I'll do it in battles. Like I'll finally scratch. Before that, it was like I didn't think I was good enough. But I saw other people scratching that I was better than.
You're like,
okay, well I'll just do it.
If they're doing it in confidence, then
I might as well just start doing it. You know what I mean?
We're gonna talk about this here in a couple minutes, but we're gonna talk about DJing still.
Fair enough. So I bought this mixer. It came with the turntables, and you can't scratch on it because it didn't have a quick cut. It was a fade cut. And I could not figure out why am I not getting this.
You're like, fuck, I fucking suck at this.
I can't understand. And then my buddy's like, dude, you can't even scratch on the mixer anyways because that was a quick cut. So instead, there was the phono selector that you can go between different jacks. I just started using that to cut it in and out. It destroys the mixer. But
like, this is what I need it for.
Yeah, that's where it started. And then I got CDJs just because records were so expensive. And then CDJs were starting to like... Finally, CD players, you could slow down, speed up, and not sound digitized. Like, you could tell digitizing.
I remember when those first came out, and they were kind of like...
It was...
I didn't think they
were... It served the purpose at the time.
Right.
But then at a certain point, it's always going to come back to sound quality at a certain point. And if you're playing in a big club, and you hear digitized music... You just kind of lose respect for the person doing it, even though it's not their fault; it's the equipment's fault. But then it's like, well, why don't you just learn how to do it on vinyl? because you're going to have that problem.
True.
You know what I mean?
So what's the setup looking like now? I know now.
Okay.
Instead of we didn't announce you as a DJ. We said VJ. So you got like a fucking NASA space station.
Right.
Like.
So my favorite setup that I have, because now I have way too much equipment. Way too much. So my favorite setup that I like to use, I have 2 Pioneer PLX 1000s, which are record players. The cool part about that though is, your pitch slider, you have the thing that speed up and slow down the record. Techniques, which are kind of the standard of record players. It's only 8%. Most of them are just 8%. You go down 8, go up 8. That's about it. There is a model that you can do more, but these actually have 3. They have 8%. 16 and then 50.
Oh fuck!
I mean, I've actually used the 50 for a certain edit that I do, but it's so versatile on speeds that I like. Because I mean, there's sometimes that I'm like, I need to get 16%, and I don't want to just slam it, and I kind of like meet them in the middle and then.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's my favorite. It's with the DJ MS9, which is the newest mixer that DJs are using. It's a battle mixer, just 2-channel. But it has pads, like on an MPC. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
Actual pads. And you can set up cue points or samples or loops and stuff like that.
That's got to be. Yeah. Now you're talking my language where you can beat on some stuff and get some loops and samples out of that.
So what I do with it now is I do what's became famous is it's called tone play, which is you take one song and you kind of get the notes out of it and you can play it in a different order to make a different song.
What?
So like one of my favorite ones that I do is Smoke on the Water, that old track, guitar track. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. I'll re-chop that into California Love because the same notes. Just in different order. So dun, 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 it's the exact same notes. So like that's why I like having those pads.
That's freaking
so I can
sweet.
re-chop. And that's what I use as my battle setup and when I go anywhere else other than my residency, which is in Peoria. There I use 2 CDJs and a Rain 68. And the only reason I use the CDJs there is because the bass is so heavy. Where the booth is, I don't know how needles would actually be in that situation.
Right.
I think they'll skip. You know what I mean? So I don't want it to. I'd rather it come out sounding good than me being more comfortable.
Right.
Because they don't care about if I'm comfortable.
They don't give a shit. They throw you in a little.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter how I feel.
This place jumping, have them getting drinks and all that stuff.
Right.
Now, VJ. Some of these people might not know. They might not go to like
clubs and
the hippest spots, but
okay. So VJing, what I actually do is when I'm DJing, I do use a computer. I use Serato, and inside Serato, instead of selecting audio files, I select video files. Okay, and
now hold on before we go. Sorry,
no, you're good. You're good.
What size external hard drive are we running? Because
4 terabyte.
I figured.
4 terabyte.
I figured it had to be more than 2.
Almost full. I have like maybe 10%.
Fucking insane.
Because video files are so big.
Yeah, there's no way 2 terabytes of video files, and you got like this collection of math and
it's huge. And I mean, I don't even know how many I have. I think video files probably 40,000. Probably what I have. But I also keep clean, dirty. A single edit or an intro, outro, or an acapella instrumental.
So you ready for whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
Like DJ Khaled said, you were ready.
Exactly.
You were ready.
Because if I do a radio show, they come to the club and they want to do a live remote, I have to have clean music.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I keep all that stuff. So I guess you could say technically I probably have like 20,000 songs. Because I have multiple edits of stuff.
Right, but that's still an insane.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know everything that I have, but there's some stuff that I keep just in case, like, it might get requested. You never know.
So what's the equipment for a VJ? VJ? The fact that I didn't even let you.
Oh, you're good. So basically, what you need is a mixer that can be MIDI'd into a computer. So basically, just my crossfader tells the video output what to do. So if it's on the left side, I'm playing the left video. If I crossfade over, it goes to the right video. When you try to explain video DJing, it sounds like it's going to be super complicated. It's not. It's really not.
It's pretty simple. But it looks so fucking cool, and it adds another effect to the whole night, the whole scene.
Like last night, the bar was pretty slow. Sunday night, it was at like 11:30. We're open till 4 a.m. So
That's why I love Peoria. Live there forever.
4 a.m., 7
4
days a
a.m.
week.
and then you go to hoops,
Yep.
and then you're out till like 6 in the morning. And you got to work at 8, so you might as well just stay.
Right. Me, I don't have to work, so I just go back to the bar at 6 because we don't open up at 6 a.m. So
Oh man.
no, so
Yeah, I love it.
So last night I noticed that everybody was sitting at the bar, just sitting there, not really dancing because there was nobody there. Are you good? So basically, in those situations, I'll play videos that are cool to see or to watch.
Yeah, if there's a chill, something they're just sitting around.
Right. Or I'll like one of the biggest edits that I've done that a lot of people like is you remember the show Scrubs? Mm-hmm. Okay, there's a part when Turk says the wrong lyrics to a Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre song. He says it's eating those ho-hos, girl. And he's like, it's because as a African American growing up, we didn't have money, so we had to eat ho-hos. And then the white doctor, the girl doctor, comes by and goes, no, it's hitting them corners and them low-lows. And like explains the song, and I use that to get into Still Dre. You know what I mean? I use that together. Which
I like that.
Yeah, so like that kind of stuff I was playing because if you're sitting in a bar not dancing, it's kind of just visually and more entertaining.
Right.
Something to do.
Man, we can sit here and talk music because that was, a huge thing I loved. And like music's always been huge for me. I've been making music forever.
Yeah.
And it's awesome to be able to sit here and talk about something that we're both real passionate about.
Because we started about the same time.
Yeah.
Totally different avenues.
Yeah.
Totally
And
different.
you did the professionalness up, and I'm still like trying to figure out how to make a bass drum clap and all that stuff. Like,
but it's not like you're gonna go out and do like a concert just with your beats. You know what I mean? Like some people do that, and so it works for some people. But
I wish I was Dead Mouse.
I think a lot of people do. I mean, he totally flipped the game when he started doing all that production. Like not just the music. I mean, the visual aspect.
The whole stage is like a huge thing.
And which is awesome. But I mean, you're more of a good behind-the-scene producer, like more that New York style of I make the beat and shop for somebody.
And that's what I'm hoping.
You know what I mean?
What I'm hoping for. That's why it looks so weird to get in front of the camera on these things. It was like the first 8 videos were real sketchy. Me sitting here like, what do I do? I'm getting a little more comfortable. But
right.
Once again, man, thanks for stopping by.
Definitely.
We're definitely gonna have to have you by again.
Definitely.
Shit.
Now, maybe next time I'll do a set.
Oh, that'd be fucking amazing.
Do like a cool video.
Promote
set.
anytime
Totally
you're battling or something. You want to come and tell people and get people to look out. Let people know where they can find you on any social media. Where you're DJing at, let them know.
Just find me on vjblee.com. All my stuff's on there. Mixes. One of the biggest things that I do every year is my Halloween mix, so that's going to be coming out soon. So
nice.
It's like a 20-minute mix of video clips and stuff like that. So.
In Berlin, right?
Berlin nightclub, Peoria, Illinois. I do that Friday and Saturday, and then my wife actually works at the bar right next door, DJs too. So it's awesome. We compete every night, man. It's fun.
It's freaking sweet. Maybe next time we're not in the ghetto setup, we'll have you both come down and
I like it.
talk trash.
Exactly. Yeah, we can sit on opposite sides of the table. I like it.
It'd be awesome. Well, man, thanks again. I'm your Drunk Oakland's podcast. You can catch us on Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud is going to be the audio, YouTube, all that good shit. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.